It's the I Can't Mom Today podcast with Heather, the new mom, and Vera, the seasoned mom. I Can't Mom Today.
Hey, this is Vera and Heather back again with another episode of I Can't Mom Today podcast. Hi, Vera.
Hey, Heather.
I'm talking a little low this morning. Yeah. I don't have my usual loud mouth energy. I can filter this.
Incognito. Yeah.
Well, my studio, when I say studio, I use that loosely. It's like, anyways, my podcasting setup. How about that?
Yeah. There you go.
Is upstairs, and we have this loft area where my office is because I work from home. But it's also the same floor that our bedrooms are on. And I mean, because we live in a mansion, it's multiple floors. Just kidding. It's in Colorado. So you use less land. You build up. So it's on our bedroom floors. Gur and Brad are still sleeping at 6 a.m. here. So
yeah, you're a trooper, man. I don't think that it's 8 o'clock here. I don't think that I could do a podcast at 6 a.m.
I've got my coffee. I took some medicine for a hangover. It's good.
Yeah. Too much wine last night.
I think I'm joking. No. Yeah. Well, because during the week, it's like I have like a glass of wine and I'm usually good. I'm like, I just want a glass of wine. But with everything that's going on, we're going to talk about that a little bit today. I just feel this urge to just drink uncontrollably, but I can't because I have Baker. So I can't wake up with this raging hangover. So I drink just enough to give me a tiny hangover. And that for me is 2.5 glasses of wine.
Oh, you wuss.
I know. Oh my God. I've always been a wuss though. I've always been a wuss, but I don't have a whole day to recover anymore. So
yeah, that's true.
I tiptoe right to the edge and I just slightly put my toe in.
Yeah. Oh, there's nothing worse than taking care of a toddler being severely hungover. Not that I'm speaking from experience.
No.
Or a baby. Yeah. Never.
I did it once when he was a baby. I was like, oh, never again. I was like, I have literally no interest in ever doing this again. Because I was just so angry all day. And it wasn't his fault. And he was crying. I was just like, shh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. Can you just be a little more quiet?
I know. I was like,
inside voice.
And I think it was probably a day that Brad had drill or something that I had to do it on my own.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's totally it.
Yep. So, how are you?
I'm beat, man. Well, I tried to go to bed early last night, and then my husband came in. Jerry came into the bedroom. He'd been working on his laptop. Came in at like 1 a.m, woke me up, and then I was like, "Where's the cat?" Because the cat, we like her to have to be inside because we had a cat eaten by a coyote once, and I think she's inside. I'm like, oh, come on. So I spent a lot of time worrying about the cat, running around trying to find her outside somewhere. I couldn't find her. So then I proceeded to just doze basically the rest of the night in a armchair in the living room waiting for her to come home. And I was worried because we just got this new puppy. Yay. She's awesome, Daisy, but she's, which is understandable. She's a puppy, so she's rambunctious. So she's trying to play with the blind chihuahua, and the blind chihuahua is like, no, she'll try and pounce on him, and he can't see her coming.
And so he legitimately, we were talking before this, and do what he does because he really does sound like this.
Oh yes, this is what he does. She'll jump on him, and he'll go. And it's like a gremlin.
It's not a joke, I swear.
No, he doesn't bark. He goes. It's really bad because he's really funny looking to begin with.
He is.
And then to see the snarling and the gurgling coming out of him. So poor guy.
I know.
So between that and then the cat, I had the puppy in the bed with me during the day yesterday. And, the cat jumped up on the bed and was like, wait a minute. What? No. Oh. You're not supposed to be here. This is my bed. So I was worried she was pissed off. So that's why I was like extra worried about her being out. And so sure enough, she comes trouncing in at 7:30 this morning like, hey, what's up? I'm like, what?
Hey, party people.
Right? Thank God you're okay. But I barely slept last night because I was worried about you getting eaten by a coyote amidst all of this coronavirus insanity. And then, of course, allergies, which that's why you sound congested also. Which there's that part of you that's like, oh my gosh, I have COVID-19. Oh no. Am I sick?
You know nothing about me. I'm a hypochondriac. And I mean, I'm not even joking. And I have a rational side to that that irrational side where I'm like, no, settle down, simmer down. You're okay. You're okay.
Yeah.
But there's still like a little bit of like a pearl inside me that's like, ah.
I know.
Yeah, I'm getting some what I hope is allergies. I'm assuming because it goes away in the afternoon. I can't imagine that if you have coronavirus, it goes away in the afternoon.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. That's the same thing with me too. Like I'll wake up with like a bit of a sore throat and a little bit of congestion, but then it usually goes away. And then there's no fever. That's what.
Yeah.
Too. Like Luke had a bit of a cough and sniffles. But the pollen. I mean, here where I don't know how it is in Colorado, but you know how it is here. The pollen, like you wash your car and 2 hours later it's yellow again. So the pollen here is terrible this time of year. So everybody's normally coughing and sneezing anyway.
It's not that bad here, but it definitely, I think it's starting though. Like I think things are starting to bloom. And so that's why it's, I'm getting, and I sat outside the other day because it's so nice. I was just like, I need to get outside and
vitamin D, it's good for your immune system.
I know. And so I've been really trying to get that like at least 10 to 15 minutes outside every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how we're playing this game.
It's rough. I don't think that I've changed my clothes in 24 hours.
Oh, I mean, I'm one of those people that has like, because I work a full-time job and, not that you don't put in your hours, but you have a little bit of a more flexible schedule than I do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And like mine is becoming more flexible, but if I don't get up and wake up at like 5 and get a shower and get ready, then I wind up, it's 8:00. I'm scrambling. Baker needs something. I can't, and then I don't get my time and I get stressed. So I have to wake up at 5, get a shower every day. But today, the weekends are no holds. Like,
yeah. Well, I don't blame you.
Like I didn't brush my teeth this morning, but I put my contacts in. And I'm neurotic about brushing my teeth. But on Saturdays, I give myself grace. And I'm like, you know what? We're going to have coffee first thing this morning. I don't have to like, nope. We're not brushing teeth this morning. I mean, I will eventually, but not first thing.
You better.
I know. I'm so neurotic about that too.
Well, how are Baker and Brad doing with the whole shut-in thing?
Well, Brad is not shut in yet. He starts on Monday next week. We've been bringing Baker to school, to preschool or daycare.
Okay.
Because it's considered an essential service here. We'll talk about that in a second. And so on Wednesday afternoon, I had a little bit of a sore throat. And it was just weird. I don't usually get sore throats with allergies. So I, of course, my hypochondria. And like I kid about that, but I'm 100% serious. Like if I had to stop watching the shows like Mystery Diagnosis and all, I love them, but I had to stop watching them because I was like, oh my God, I have this. Like, no.
That's
my
what
brain goes there no matter what. Like, and so I mean, it's bad for me, but it is what it is. So I just have to know what I can watch and what I can't.
Yes, no, there are certain things that I can't watch. Criminal Minds. Ooh.
Oh, I can watch. Yeah, I can watch any kind of those shows as long as Brad's here. If he's not here, then I will wait until he gets back because he goes away sometimes. So yeah, I will wait, or I'll wait until the daytime, and then I'll have to watch something else after it, like a Will and Grace or something.
Something
my
funny
mind out of that. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so I had a sore throat, and then I woke up on Thursday morning. I was like, had a little bit of a cough, and I was like, ugh, I cannot. I would have already endangered people at his daycare. So I was like, we're going to keep him. He's home from now on. So we worked on Thursday and Friday, and it worked okay. It wasn't the greatest thing, but Brad will be home on Monday or starting next week. So I'll have that help. So we're going to keep him home.
That'll be good.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to worry about any type of like of school stuff because Baker's too little to worry about that.
Well, they still do a curriculum at a school, so we're going to try to do that. But they put it out at like 10 a.m. I'm like, okay, so now in the middle of the day, you want me to look over this to teach my child this stuff today now. So we're gonna
do my job, do my regular job.
Yeah.
That's why I've got a couple of girlfriends. Well, one friend has a 7-year-old, and then a couple other girlfriends that have 2 kids each that are like, in the range between like 6 and 10.
Yeah.
And they have full-time jobs too. So they're trying to do their full-time job from home.
Yeah.
And then also homeschool their kids. My one girlfriend said it took her 3 hours just to figure out how to download everything and where to get, like how to navigate the site and where they had everything. And so she said, they both said, they're like, my work is absolutely suffering. I can't do both, and I don't know what I would do. Of course, with Luke, he's a junior in high school, so this messes up everything with the SATs and all that.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. But they also here, they decided not to start official homeschooling until Monday. So they had a week of spring break and then a week after that. Yeah. And I guess for
that
the teachers
seems like the
to get
standard,
ready.
Truthfully.
Yeah. I know that some, like the private schools, that's how I know, like my one girlfriend, Erica, her school started, but her kids go to a private school, even though it's here. Mm-hmm. They decided to start last week. But the public schools are starting this coming Monday. And so I've just told Luke, you've got to get yourself on a schedule, take this as a nice opportunity to get up maybe at 9 instead of 6, like you normally have to. Mm-hmm. Give yourself a couple of hours, do some schoolwork, have some lunch.
Truthfully, it's a really good lesson in how to prepare for college.
Yeah. The time maintenance. Yeah, for sure. And for him, and it's just, I'm going to have to keep him on that. But that's way easier than me trying to teach a 7-year-old Common Core math.
Yeah, listen, if we got nothing out of this, we got some great memes.
Oh, for sure.
These memes are killing me. I mean, killing. I love it.
Hysterical. They're really funny.
I cannot even.
Yeah. No, they're very funny. And it's just, and then you realize how much people drink.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
so people that I didn't think even drank all that much, they're like, I'm having a pitcher of margaritas now. I can't handle it.
So I think I had to go out on Monday or Tuesday. It had to be Tuesday. It was Monday. And Denver called it like, okay, you have stay-at-home orders and any unessential business is going to be closed. And they included the liquor stores and pot shops. And I had gotten home, and he called it like 3. I got home at like 3. No, it was like 2. He called it. And I got home at like 2:30 or something. And I told Brad, I was like, you need to go to the liquor store because we're going to be next. I was like, go. And it's like one of the big warehouse type liquor stores. It's huge. And it was wrapped around from like the midway in front, all the way down the side, all the way down the back.
Oh my God.
Yeah. He took a picture of it. I was like, this is insanity. And then lo and behold, 2 hours later, they were like, oh, just kidding. Those are essential businesses.
Oh my God. So the liquor store is considered essential?
Yeah. Liquor stores and pot stores. He said, but they're like, practice extreme social distancing. But because the rush on the liquor store was insane. And we live 30 minutes outside Denver. Well, no, it's probably 20 minutes outside Denver. But I was like, we're going to be next. Mark my words, friend.
Mama needs some vodka.
The thing is, too, is like he called it, and it wasn't until like the next day at 5 that it was going to go into effect. But everybody's like, because I told Brad, I was like, we're going to be next day. And I was like, there's going to be a mad rush coming up to it. So we need to go now. Little did we know other people were also preparing.
Thinking the same thing. Exactly. Well, if you're stuck at home, man, it's like, that, what you going to do?
Yeah, I'm not that big of a drinker, so it's, it is what it is, but I do like to have my glass of wine. We did no drink February. We didn't drink in February.
Oh, okay.
I mean, getting close to that date, the last 7 days, I was a little loose on the no. I reversed the letters. It was on.
It's on.
But Brad did really good. But I did. I mean, and when I say like my stepbrother came in town and I had a glass of wine, it wasn't like I got wasted.
But. Yeah. See, my problem is wine. I can do without liquor. I don't really need liquor, but wine is absolutely, I can do without beer. It's wine. I'm absolutely a wino. Mm-hmm. So, but speaking of other ways, I was thinking, well, there have been some very stressful moments being stuck in the house with everybody and then having a 17-year-old who wants to go and hang out with his friends. And it amazes me that these other kids' parents, like people were letting their kids just go wherever and go hang out, like, in big groups and letting other kids come over to their houses all the time. And I'm trying to tell my kid, no, But he's like, but then so-and-so's over at so-and-so's house along with so-and-so and so-and-so. And I'm like, I don't understand what these other parents are thinking, because they don't know how clean my house is and if anybody in my house is sick. So if Luke goes over to their house and brings germs with him, like, are they not worried about that?
So, I mean, I don't think people really get the whole impact of this, of the situation. Like the fact that we have to, I keep seeing on social media, and it's, you know, people are, and I'm guilty of this as well. I mean, I sent Baker to daycare, but, you know, because I needed to work, and my clients are nonprofit, and so they are impacted by this coronavirus, and we're getting messaging out, and we're changing things that we're doing. And one of them is a health organization, so it's not like, you know, I mean, like, so they're kind of in the middle of it, and so it's not like we're like, I don't have, not that other people don't have things that are critical to do, and I was selfish in that, but while daycare is open, it's considered essential. Then we were sending him until, you know, I felt that I was not being safe anymore.
Yeah. But at least you were sensitive to that.
Yeah. And we don't go out to parks and play, and we don't, you know, go to this, you know, we're not getting together with our neighbors and having a powwow and like hugging and kissing and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. But well, that's what, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, it's fine. The amount of videos I've seen on social media that are like, hey, so here's how it's spreading. Here's the thing. And like very blunt, you know, to the point, direct terms. And like one of my cousins, oh my gosh, I was like, she posted about, you know, oh, you probably had this in November and December. It's been here for a while, da, 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 da. And, you know, she's like, I had a flu shot and I had all these symptoms. Like, you guys, look at what it's doing to our healthcare. Do you really think you had it in November and December? And I want to shake people.
I know. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's amazing to me how many people just don't seem to realize. Like one of Luke's friends' parents said, well, if you're not going to stay at home, then just don't come home and just go hang out wherever you're going to hang out. I'm like, well, where's he going to hang out? I guess that some friends are going to let him spend the night or whatever. And I sweat, because we had made plans to go to the beach because we were originally supposed to go on a cruise, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, I remember talking to you about it.
So stressful, because trying to decide whether to go or not, because it was before they officially canceled them all. And then, you know, and the cruise line's only going to give you a credit, and that's kind of tough. It's not like an airline credit that you can use for just about anything. It's a cruise, you know, like, oh.
Yeah. And do you want to go now?
Yeah, exactly. And I was going with another mom and her two kids and her two kids' friends and my kid and his friend. So it's 6 kids and 2 moms. And so we finally decided not to go, and we decided to rent a house on the beach, you know, just 2 hours away in Santa Rosa. And then, of course, then things started to get even more serious, and we're like, well, maybe we shouldn't go rent the house. And I was like, if I'm going to be stuck at a house, you know, if we tell the kids to just be really careful, not to go hang out with other kids,
wash your hands,
and what we did, so we did go, and what we did was, you know, we sanitized the whole house. When we got there, like, we're like, everybody grab a pile of wipes, wipe off all the doorknobs, wipe off all the doors, you know, the light switches, you know, blah, blah, blah. Because then you figure most of the time, before they closed the beaches, we went to the beach, but the beach was a private beach and it wasn't crowded. So, you know, we kept our little group together and stayed away from other groups, and, you know, practiced social distancing and did all that. So, but then when we came back, then I was, you know, again, things are getting more and more serious. And that's when I said to Luke, I was like, okay, well, I'm sorry, you can't go going to friends' houses and everything now. This is it. That was it. That was fun, but no. So, of course, you know, like I said, it was really tough. I mean, just total fits over how much he wants to be with his friends. Why can't he be with his friends? His other friends get to hang out. And it was just awful, so stressful. And then he's having anxiety over the whole thing, you know, obviously, like the rest of us. And he can feel, you know, he's really empathic. So he can feel when there's anxiety in the universe, you know. So he's feeding off of that. And oh my God, it was just awful, 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 awful. Like mood swings. Just,
that sounds like a fun time.
Oh my gosh, it was so terrible. So I finally got a hold of my shrink, And I was like, are you doing phone sessions or Facebook sessions? Because I need help. And Luke's seen him before intermittently, and he's really amazing. And I keep talking, I want to have him on our podcast one day. Anyways, so he's talked to him now twice and has helped a lot. And I have another appointment scheduled for next week. That's helped a lot. And then I did relent and say he could have a friend or two over, but they're not allowed in the house. Like they can go around, because I researched it, and pool water is okay as long as you're not obviously not in a pool filled with people. And, we have just our pool. So they said, it's not the pool water. You don't have to worry about it being communicated in that. It's just getting too close to someone and then, touching the doors and stuff like that. So I was like, if you guys sanitize and don't go hugging, kissing, getting too close to each other, you can hang out at the pool. You can go out on the dock. You can play in the backyard, whatever. And if you have a friend girl over, if she has to, because I was like, tell the boys they can pee outside. And if you have a girlfriend over, then she's just going to have to like sanitize like crazy. And, she can just go to this little bathroom that we have, where it is, but it's just right off to the side. So she could touch minimal things while she comes in to go to the bathroom. And then that's what he's pretty much been doing is they'll either come over here or they'll meet up at a park, like one or two friends, and just walk around and talk and stuff, which I feel like they're in the fresh air. They're not around other people.
Yeah.
That I feel pretty secure with that. But, it's nice because at least the weather's been beautiful and they're getting some fresh air, vitamin D, and having more one-on-one time, which he has said has been nice because he's had these nice conversations with his friends and they're not like sitting around watching TV because they have to be outside. Yeah. So that's all they do is like, walk. And he took the kayak out a couple of times out on the lake. So that was nice. So they've been kind of like going back to basics.
Yeah. Well,
which is good, I think.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know I have checked into like Talkspace, and there's another one too. I can't remember what it's called, because I can feel myself feeling different about things. And like my mental stability is not as strong as I would want it to be. So I've definitely looked into things like that as well, because, I know it's important for me to take care of myself as well.
Yes.
So I haven't acted on it, but I need to follow through.
There's actually one of the things I did do with Luke when he was having a freak out moment was, he's actually gotten into meditation, but he's never done a guided meditation. He's been trying to do them himself. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize you weren't doing guided meditation. And there's a really good one I found on YouTube. I'll have to see if I can find it again. But even if you just do a search under guided meditation anxiety, I found one on YouTube that was 15 minutes long and it was really good. And it talks kind of like you can tell they made it just because of what's going on with coronavirus. Oh, nice. And it talks about, we know there's uncertainty and, you're feeling anxiety, and it has this nice music and the voiceover is really good. So that's something to do. And you can even do that with littler kids, with 7 and 8 year olds. You can just all sit down and listen to it and, play it on YouTube. And relax together.
Saw an ad on Instagram, I think, for Deepak Chopra's and Oprah, their meditation thing. So maybe look into that. It's like free right now.
Oh, cool. I'm going to look for that too. Because it really did. It calmed him down. Good. He went from like high anxiety, freaking out to, okay, so, and that was 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. So that really helped. So I definitely would suggest that because it's, and I needed to go back to doing my yoga. I haven't been doing my yoga and I know that would help me too.
Yeah. The person that we always talk about, Chalene, it's Chalene. Wait.
Chalene. Yep.
Yeah. I was like going in. I was like, I'm spelling this wrong, but she has the, what's her Chalene, the Chalene show, I'm pretty sure it's that one that she has and she also has Build Your Tribe, but on the Chalene show, she has a walking meditation that she did. So if you sitting still isn't your thing, then you can go listen to that as well. So it's a moving meditation
That's cool. I'll have to try that. I'll have to,
because I'm not, that's the thing with meditation. I'm like, I can't sit here because then I start thinking about things. I'm like,
yeah.
and it's wasted time for me. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure if I practiced it, I'd be better at it and I could do it. But I'm like, I've got too much to do. Starting in this kind of atmosphere isn't the best for me.
You're like my new puppy.
Yeah.
Who's been nice. So she's been nice. Well, that was the thing. So the puppy, I can tell everybody the story of getting the puppy as far as things that'll kind of chill you out and take your mind off things.
Mm-hmm.
A friend of mine's daughter goes to Troy University in Alabama. And apparently Daisy's the puppy. She was dropped off when she was like a month old at the sheriff's station there. And it's just a small little town in Alabama. I was like, they do that? I guess they do. So anyway, so she got a hold of the puppy, wanted the puppy, and her mother, long story short, just basically said, look, you're a freshman in college. There's no way. You can't take care of a puppy. So, and the mother wanted to keep her, but she has 2 chihuahuas also, actually. And her chihuahuas just were not having it. They were like, hells no. They didn't like Rudy, but they were not happy. So anyways, I had met the puppy when I was over at my friend's house, and she was so cute and I just loved her. But I was like, I don't think we're ready for another dog yet because Jerry's dog had passed away, Speckles, about 1.5 years ago. Yeah. Well, lo and behold, like 2 days later, Jerry says to me, think about ready for another dog. I was like, I know a dog. I just happen to know a dog. So sure enough, that's how I ended up with her. But the thing was partly because she was so cute, but also she doesn't bark a lot, and she's a hound mix, and the vet thinks she's only going to be like 40 or 50 pounds. So she'll be nice, medium size, not too big, not too small. Yeah. So she kind of like fit the criteria. And
the circumstances.
Yeah, exactly. And the circumstances. Well, that's right. Yes. Because, it's something bright and happy. I mean, there's nothing like a puppy walking around the house with her tail wagging all the time, like how can that not cheer you up? And then 2, we're all home. So we can take turns taking her out and potty training her and all that stuff. So it's not like she's left to her own devices and we're all at work all day.
Yeah. Cause you have to walk her, right? Cause you don't have a fenced in backyard.
Right. Well, actually, Jerry's going to build a fence for one side of the house, which will be perfect because we have a dog door from the screen porch right there. So she'll be able to go out there eventually once that gate is up. For that, what Olin, our alligator hunter neighbor, Olin, to explain to everybody, he knows animals like he knows everything about animals. Yeah. So anyway, he's like, don't you put that dog on a leash. You can't put that dog on a leash. You need to train her that this is her house and she's not going to go too far. So we've been trying to walk around with her without a leash and just kind of teach her to stay close to us or stay close to the house. Mm-hmm. So I've been just taking her out in the backyard, and usually she doesn't go too far. And if she does, it's pretty easy to catch up with her. So
well, that's good.
Yeah, so she's been pretty good about that too. I mean, you'll call. She answers to her name, but sometimes she chooses not to. She'll like look back at you like,
So she's like a 2-year-old.
Exactly. And I noticed it's funny when she has to poop. She needs her space. Like she doesn't like to poop right in front of you. She needs to go like about, I don't know, like 30 feet away. Because like the first couple of times she did that, she's like running away from me, and I'm like, where are you going? And then she finally, goes to poop, and I was like, oh. You just needed some space.
Yeah, Maxie does that too. She's like, don't look at me.
Exactly. Can a girl have some privacy?
Yeah.
Which is funny. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's wrap this up and we can talk about some more things next week. And
hang in there.
Stay safe out there, y'all.
Everybody hang in there. Stay safe. Stay well. And try not to go too crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And catch up with us if you have something you want to ask or you want to tell us. Head over to Facebook. You can get us at I Can't Mom Today Podcast on Facebook and Instagram, and Gmail YouTube is I Can't Mom Today Podcast at gmail.com. And then YouTube, I Can't Mom Today Podcast.
Yeah.
Twitter.
Yes, we're on Twitter too. I Can't Mom Today Podcast.
Tweet.
Yep.
But if you want to ask us any questions or even just check in, dude, we are a support for you guys. We're happy to sit down and talk to you. And
or if you have any suggestions on things that you're doing to make life livable while we're all shut in.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
right. We'll see you next week or talk to you next week. Bye. Bye.